Hey there, YouTube. How's everybody doing today? Well, as you can see, I am on a different bike. I was trying to think of a good way to do like a reveal video, but to be honest with you, I'm just not good at that. So, this is the view that you'll be seeing, at least this season, hopefully longer. If you follow my Instagram page at Buckeye Drew Moto, a lot of you guys already know that a couple weeks ago I sold my VTX and was officially truly in the market for a new bike. So for some of you guys that follow me a lot, know that all I really talked about is what kind of bike I wanted to upgrade to. And most, all the time, it always came back down to the Victory cross country. You know, I like the Street Glide, so that's what I ended up going with. This is a 2016, so it's the 103, and it was just really a deal that I couldn't pass up on. I went back and forth on, you know, once I decided to go Harley, did I want to go to the 107, or did I feel comfortable enough just going with the 103? So I took a couple things into that decision. For one, price. You know, the 107, once you get up to the 2017s, they're more expensive. You know, when it came down to what did I really want to spend on a bike, I didn't really want to spend 20 plus on a bike. Even I found a couple used 107s, but I also think just doing, you know, a little reading and different sites and stuff like that, there are still some kinks to work out with the 107. That kind of maybe swayed me towards the other way, but ultimately it was price. This was just more affordable. This is a 2016 with 1,600 miles on it. So it's basically, you know, it just got past its break-in period. You know, of course, I won't say what I paid for it, but I can tell you it's well under book value. So I was really happy with the purchase. And the amber whiskey color has always been one of my absolute favorites. When Harley came out with it, I loved it. But there was a couple colors that I, you know, was looking for. But this one just called my name. So I'm really excited. I mean, it's just been such a long process for me. It's been a couple years of looking at, you know, what I want, what brand, what features do I want in a bike. So I'm kind of relieved that it's finally over, and you know, now I just have to find like topics to vlog about, because I feel like that's all I ever talked about. Last year I only posted like maybe 3 or 4 videos, because I said in my first video last year, I said if they're not good, you know, if they're just not good vlogs, I'm not going to put them out. And that's what happened. I mean, they just weren't good. Most of them were just talking about the different kind of bikes, and I kind of just, I didn't want to make every video about that last year. Probably my best vlog I didn't even publish last July. I actually went and test rode a 2015 Street Glide. It was Superior Blue. It was a standard just like this, and honestly I would have bought that, but it was at the one dealer that I've complained about. they were offering a pretty good deal, but when I got there, it ended up being 3.5 hours of me just them trying to push me to a new bike and not really working with me on the used one that I test rode until I told them I was leaving because I'd been there too long. I just wanted to leave. And at that point, I was so frustrated. Even the price I was happy with, I said, no, I'm going to sleep on it. And I ended up walking away just because they made me so mad, which turns out was the right decision because I got this one for about $1,600 less than their best price on a 15. And that 15 had 10,000 miles on it. And, you know, this only has, you know, a little over 1,600. So I'm looking forward to this year doing a lot more riding, a bike that I'm more comfortable on. You know, it's just been, I don't know, like, it's just a huge relief to finally have that part over, because I've just been dreaming of a new bike for so long. I really have. Like, it's just been forever. I feel like I'm happy with the Harley decision. So ultimately, you know, victory in Harley. And you know, the more I started researching and the more I really got serious about looking for bikes, the one thing I said would never really pull me in, but I'm not gonna lie, it pulled me in. Just the marketing of Harley, you know, all the shops that you can go to, the hats, the shirts, just you know, the brand, the I don't really, I guess you can say image, but it's not really an image. I mean, that I'm thinking of. It was just, you know, supporting whatever that you have. You can't really do that with a whole lot of other products. They don't give you that ability. So that kind of swayed me there too. And you know, I have a lot of friends that ride Harleys, so the more I actually got to test ride them and things like that, I just kind of liked it. Like, you know, I always said, well, the shake of a Harley will probably draw me away from it. You know, this does have a little shake at stops. Like, when you're going like this, and I apologize, it's probably noisy, it's kind of windy out. But when you're going like this, I mean, there's no shake. I mean, it's just as smooth as my Honda was. You know, I know it'll run hotter due to the fact that, you know, that it's an air-cooled bike, but I mean, today it's only, I mean, heck, it's only, right now it's 50 degrees out, so I mean, I'm not going to feel any heat. So today is Tuesday the 27th. I actually bought this Sunday evening. It was a really cool experience. I did buy it from a dealership up in Piqua, where my buddy Josh that I've talked about, you know, bought his new one last year. It was a cool experience because my dad ended up buying one as well. He did, however, keep his VTX, so he has both. But he bought a 2014 Special, and it is, I mean, it's a beautiful bike. You know, and I went back and forth on the Special. The only thing I'm really going to add to this one, I mean, the touchscreen didn't mean a whole lot to me, but that's something that I can add later, and I would add a used unit. I wouldn't pay the $2,000 Harley once for them. I found them used for about $500 or $600, but I didn't feel like I needed that, so it wasn't a huge deal. I've never had ABS that comes on the Specials, so I wasn't, you know, I didn't really care. I mean, yeah, it'd be a nice feature, but it wasn't something that I had to have. The one thing I am adding is the security, because the standards don't come with security, and I do want that. So that's, you know, that's really the thing I'm going to add, and then I'm thinking about maybe eventually adding some bars. I actually went and looked at a different place, at a different dealership, at a Special with the Amber Whiskey, but it had the 10-inch apes. Didn't have any exhaust. Everything else was stock. Oop. And I might get some lowering blocks for the shocks, because I'm only 5'8" on a good day, so it's really hard for me to stay flat-footed. So I'd like to lower it. But you can get lowering blocks for about $90 for these things, which is about the cheapest route. Might take a little out of your ride, but you know, these are air shocks on this, so I figure I can adjust it. But yeah, I mean, so it was a neat experience. Me and my dad, we both got to ride him home Sunday night. It was cold. By the time we got home, it was about 37. So, you know, Pick was about 45 miles from my house. But I didn't care. I had a grin from ear to ear. I've just been so incredibly excited. As much as I always tried to stay, you know, unbiased when it came to talking about Harleys. A lot of times I was nervous about them. I mean, I am a little nervous, but everybody just tells me, you know, keep up on the services and you know, treat it right, and it'll treat you right back. So my wife did say that she was happy that I went with Harley, as it'll be easier to shop for me now. And she is true. She's right there. However, she does not like the Street Glides. She doesn't like bikes with fairings. And surprisingly enough, and I only say surprising, she hates the color of this bike. And the reason I say surprising is, you know, she started driving in 2004. She was a junior, I think, when she finally got her first car and got her license. And her first car was a 2004 Cavalier. It was like burnt orange. So I figured she would love this color, like, because that used to be like her favorite color. But she said bikes are meant to be dark. But I said, well, everybody and their brother has a black Street Glide. Ultimately, I wanted a little splash of color. I wanted something a little brighter. My other bike was a really dark red, like maroon. It was a beautiful color. My dad's 2014 Special that he purchased is kind of similar to that color. But yeah, the Amber Whiskey is just one that I always just wanted. Now, the one thing that I've already been getting heat for by my buddies is you can't really see it. You can kind of see in the mirror my jacket, and on the patch there, whoops, still says Honda. That's because, you know, I just spent a lot of money on a bike. Now I can't go spend $500 and $600 on a Harley leather jacket. I would like to, but if I did that, then I can't get my my security that I want to get, because Harley does charge about, I think, $400 for the security. But I think that's a good option to have, plus it'll lower your insurance. You know, plus if, you know, you're doing road trips and stuff, I want more than just a locking fork. Not that these thieves and stuff don't know how to get by even a security system, but it's just a good option to have. And the keyless fob is kind of nice. So yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out on the ride. Maybe stop in the parking lot and do next to my house and do a little walk around of the bike. I tell you what, guys, I just absolutely love this bike. My 13 had some good torque. You know, and this has good torque too. But the one thing I won't miss is the carburetor. The fuel injection's awesome. This bike's so smooth. I know a lot of people said the seats are uncomfortable. I mean, I haven't done a long ride. 40 miles is about all I got. But I can tell you my tailbone didn't hurt after it. So this seat's pretty comfortable, but I don't know, maybe I'll end up looking at a different maybe I'll end up looking at a different seat eventually, but right now this one seems comfortable enough. I do want to get the sissy bar and the backrest for it. These kickstands always scare me. I know it's locked in place, but it still scares you. But yeah, here she is, 2016. I'm thinking about doing the LED turn signals on it, and maybe a day maker. More visibility is never a bad thing. Has the 103 motor. Did have a scratch on the bag when I got it. That was the only downfall, but for the price, I wasn't gonna let it affect it, you know, because Scratches happen. But there she is, guys. I'm looking forward to a good season 3. A lot more videos this year. Hopefully, you know, update my camera so I can get some better shots, maybe some better editing software. Stuff I've said I've always going to do, but you know, last year I just didn't get into it as much. And then, man, sometimes, you know, you kind of become a child about certain things, and you want something new so bad that you don't even want to use what you have. And that's kind of the way I was getting with the VTX. You know, I enjoyed group rides when I could. I would still get out for those, but just getting out like this, even though I'm just on my lunch break today, so. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you coming along. See my messy garage? That'll be cleaned up soon too. I still struggle sometimes getting this in neutral. There we go. And there she be. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see you guys later. All right now.